It is time for another great installment of Younger Life Live. Woo!
Good morning.
Good morning. I'm Rick Federici.
I'm Mary Anthony.
And I'll tell you, leading into us being here today on Younger Life Live, we had chatted about our children, our families, things that are going on. And maybe as we scope out life, you know, your 15-year-old is where my two daughters were just a few years ago.
Right.
And when as a parent, and when do you as a grandparent, when do you as the adults, and I say that loosely because those 15-year-olds are considered adults, young women, young men.
Oh, I know.
When do you say enough is enough and we go, it's your turn to support or at least kind of help? And then do you feel guilty, those emotions going through you? Some of the things we'll be talking about today. Plus on the show, we'll throw that in there as one thing. We have got Younger Next Year. This is a wonderful, wonderful book.
I mentioned this book yesterday. It's really interesting. This is, this is co-authored, but the book is about, basically, we were discussing age and at what point do you explain what old is? Because I mean, really, don't we all feel 18 some days and 118 others? That's what I always say. But this book is about, although your body, you're going to age, there's no reason why mentally you should, about 50, 55, you should be able to maintain that sharpness and that body forever doing just a few simple things. So it's a great take on it, and it's been a really interesting book. So I brought it in today so we could kind of talk about it a little.
Well, and I definitely want to talk about this because I'm so glad you had, as I edge up, I'm 49, I'm going to be 50. So this is my
big
year
birthday.
Of being, yeah.
We need to plan something big
my
for Rick's
gosh.
birthday.
Please, nothing crazy.
Oh,
and
I
nothing
keep
too
saying let's do
adult-like.
something crazy. I said let's make him go get a
thank
tattoo. Let's do that.
Wait a
That would
minute
be
here.
fun.
I have all my life, this generation, the millennials and the young people, even my daughters who are 18 and 22, that whole group, there's so many of the young people that love tattoos. Not that I wouldn't want one, but I think the main thing that I think of is A, will it hurt? I'm not being a wuss. A, will it hurt? B, I think this B goes over the A. I don't want to have, like, someone's gonna laugh at me now when I say this, but like a dirty needle. I have been so good all my life about my body as a temple attitude.
Absolutely, but I think
I would be
I think in
afraid.
this day and age, most places the standards are extremely high. They have no choice.
Martha,
But yeah, you're
let's
not
go
walking
get a
into some
tattoo.
nasty. You're not walking into some nasty
Rank
dirt
place.
floor. Yeah, dirt floor like hut where you're gonna let them mark you all up. I mean, I think that now it's not really it's not really a concern. I understand that, but
Yeah, and
I think it would be fun. Again, 50 is a big deal. That's a great birthday.
How about this one? Number 3? And this one is you're just going to laugh. Will it sag wherever I put it? In other words, for women, they always say about certain parts of their body. For men, for those of us that don't have chests, there's nowhere to put it. If I put it on my arm, it's like, okay. My daughter, I said, I love the good Lord. I'm all about the big G. So I said, it would be cool to put, my girlfriend's name is Irene. I don't want that. And do I want Norma,
funny.
Carly, and Devin? Well, they are my 3 main ladies in my life, and they are everything. They are everything in life to me. But, at a certain point, is it just going to sag?
I don't
That's what
know.
I'd be
I mean,
crazy
but
with.
again, and at that point, who cares? Maybe that would be way, way, way down the road, and it would still be a good memory of a fun birthday.
Funny, Ryan, our executive producer, said, let's all get Younger Life tattoos.
There we go.
I'll do that.
That would be awesome. That would be really cool. And about speaking of will
I
it
love
sag,
you.
if you stuck to maybe follow the advice from the gentleman that wrote this book,
Yes.
you would never have to worry about that.
All right, so I'm going to pick some out. I'm just going to let you know. A Guide to Living Like 50 Until You're 80 and Beyond. Chris Crowley and Henry S. Lodge, MD.
Right.
Okay, so turn back your biological clock. I'm just going to throw some out there.
Yeah, please. It's really
if you don't mind.
interesting. It was
Because-
very interesting, and they have a very I love the style in which they wrote it. It's very relatable, very down to earth. There's one part in there where they discuss exercising, and
Oh, yeah.
and he says, "Don't worry, we are not going to say the word interval. We will
Oh,
let."
I thought you were going to say something else.
No, how they that's like a big thing with weights and stuff, and they say we'll let the young kids handle that. Instead, just focus on these little things. And it's a very practical book. I really think it's good.
I'm going to throw this out there. The Ugly Stick and Other Curiosities. My head went to chapter 12. And can I tell you why?
Please.
Because
Okay.
this affects me right now. Okay. Here we go. Adventures in the Skin Trade. I have told you this. I've told all of our behind the scenes folks, our producers. I made this comment to our Ryan Beth. I've made this comment to you, Mary Anthony. Okay. I have always, my whole life, because of my light skin and the German side of me, I'm Italian and German. And my mother tells me I think Hungarian for some weird reason, which I think, okay, I get it. Like between Hungary and Germany, whatever. I just found that out at 50, 49 and a half. That my skin, I always have to watch it, but I have my skin checked every 6 months for cancer.
Oh, that's good.
Because as I get older and I've aged, but I think I've done pretty good.
Yeah.
The freckles.
Absolutely.
I have freckles, and I never had freckles in my younger years, 20s, 30s. As I hit 40-ish, I mean, I always wore black, but I was kind of good. I have to watch it. So a lot of times if I'm out in the sun, I'll put a shirt on a lot of times for that exact reason, and other reasons that are vain reasons for Rick Federici. But the skin trade, adventures in the skin trade, like I always talk about, I watch my face. I always put on 50 to 100 block, and different things like that. But here's one that I would love to. And if anybody's listening out there, I know Mary Anthony would join me, and I know our spouses, and I know our producers, and I know people that are on the show. I brush my teeth 4+ times a day. And I, just as you get older, because of the coffee and the stuff, I would love to have my teeth whitened. That's
I use the I don't know that we can
Crest?
actually do. Yeah, okay. I wasn't sure we could actually say like.
Oh yeah,
brands.
sure. I don't care.
I try once a year. I know you can do it every 6 months, but for me, it's not worth the
What do you
expense.
use?
I use Crest whitening strips. Those
Do they
ones.
work?
Once a year? I think they do. And every time I go to the dentist, they always comment on, your teeth are so white. Well, I do those once a year.
I do those strips, Mama.
But it's and I drink coffee and red wine, so I ask them about. I've asked the dentist. Of course, you can do whitening through your dentist. But it's a lot more expensive. And for me, I think
I'm going to throw
maybe
this out
eventually.
There. Right.
But I'm not. Right now, I think the strips do a good enough job for once a year. So.
I'll throw this out there for the record. If there's anybody out there, producers, if you're listening, you know who you are. If you can get Mary Anthony and Rick Federici, we will whiten our teeth live on Younger Life Live, because that is a part of staying younger.
Yeah.
Think about it.
Well, it's taking care of yourself. I mean, certainly your teeth.
Slow down, look both ways, and don't be a grumpy old man.
Amen to that.
I'm just reading just stuff from chapter 12. I haven't even touched any other chapters. This, you were telling me, you and Jeremy were kind of perusing these books together as a couple, and I am looking at this like the biology of nutrition. Thinner next year. We had chatted about this in upcoming shows, by the way. We will have on here, I just want to throw this out there, Younger next year, we will have someone dissecting, because I made this comment yesterday during our production meeting. We have to get those dietitians on, because people left and right are asking us about the label reading. Well,
when we had gone to Cafe 1007 at the hospital,
IU Health LaPorte Hospital.
Yes, at IU Health LaPorte, and we met Jana and Tracy. They helped us determine whose plates, basically whose lunch was the healthier version, which was Rick's. I can admit to losing. I can deal with that. I don't like it, but it was good. It was good food either way. So
it was awesome.
It was good. But they were so informative. And for them it was very easy. So I said, I wish it were a little bit easier like that for all of us when you're talking about labels. So we are going to try to get them on. Actually get them here in the studio where we can bring snacks and stuff from home that we typically actually eat and pack for our kids.
I was going to say, and I would love to use, like when I do cycling at home on my trainer, on upcoming shows, we're going to talk to, Trina from the bike stop in Michigan City, Indiana, about her live tour.
Yeah.
She's been doing that for the last several weeks. We love her to pieces, but it is a little bit different on a trainer than it is out in the open.
Absolutely.
So we'll talk about that. But I mean, it's things like that where you and I are looking at, okay, what can we play with? What can we do?
Right. And I think that knowledge is power in anything. I mean, you
agree.
hear that all the time, and it's very true. So I think the more we learn about labels, the more we learn about, a little bit of a better choice, even if it's only a little bit. We don't have to jump off the deep end, but as long as it's a little bit, we learn to tread water a little bit better.
Can I tell you what I learned in the first couple of days I was riding with some of the pros in the area? And, when you ride with someone, and I'm using this as an example, folks, that are more experienced, I pulled out what I thought was a very good bar because it had 20 grams of protein and what I thought was all the right thing.
Right.
When they looked at the bar, they're like, oh my gosh, Rick Federici, that is like such a bad bar for you.
And you know what stinks about that is they say, oh, bravo, their marketing team, because they tricked you.
Yes, they
and
did.
that stinks because, you feel like you have to constantly be on guard, and that isn't fair to us that are in a hurry and trying to do better and thinking, oh, we're doing great, and even when you look at the labels, it's still deceiving. We had Sue Klebeck on, and
Sure.
she's going to be back next week. We're going to have a snacking with Sue on Monday. So
Is this going to be really good stuff or what?
she's going to bring and make for us live the little rolled oat balls, and you're
The peanut
going
ones?
to yep. And so people can
Nice.
see how easy it really is. You're going to bring something in and make something healthy. I was thinking you had mentioned making a smoothie.
I'll do that. Yeah.
So
What
I
day is
thought
that?
Monday.
Okay, sure.
We'll
sure.
do that live. And then
Okay.
I haven't even decided yet what I'm going to make. Something, but these are all healthier
Mine will
options
be
and
dessert.
easy.
Why don't you make yours the main entree?
Yeah, trying to make it something
I'll pay.
healthy and easy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And show on camera that these are still healthy, yummy, and easy. So that's kind of the, and it's really more like snacky stuff. That's what we thought would be fun. Because March, by the way, happy 1st of March, is National Nutrition Month, among other things. We've got
Now,
a lot going on in March. But
you and I had thrown out there too, and I know we've chatted about this on a serious note because it affects a lot of people, a lot of men, a lot of women, the colorectal
Yep.
side of life, which I know that in months past, I know that we've got a couple things coming up, but there are big events.
it is. And I'm actually going to pull that up right now. We
Please,
know
if you
we
wouldn't mind.
we have a few fabulous doctors going to be joining us throughout the month. We're trying to get those confirmed, but all relating to colorectal, digestive health, and awareness. It's extremely important. I mean, it's a very large topic, and goes on and on. But we definitely are going to try to incorporate that, much like we did the heart in February, because it is an problem that affects so many Americans and relates directly to nutrition so much of the time too. So I think that I was trying to pull up, the hospital actually has, I'm trying to tell you exactly what they call it.
Okay,
Just
no
give me a
problem.
second.
And you
Yeah.
want to know one of the things that we've had, and you know this too, as we scope this out during the Women's Health Fair, which it's a smattering for those that aren't familiar with it. It's a local health fair that is
Yeah.
put on by IU Health LaPorte Hospital that draws several thousand women and, quite honestly, the last several years, men. And we
Oh,
actually
yeah.
broadcast from there. There are
that-
demonstrations for healthy cooking. This year, again, in 16, it'll be in October.
It's the Women's Fair, primarily.
is.
What they
Yes,
call
it is.
Yes, this is the colorectal cancer awareness campaign.
Beautiful.
That's what the
Let's-
entire month is.
Okay.
All focused on digestive health, digestive issues, and preventative, care, preventative things that we can do, and signs and symptoms to watch for. So I'm really excited about that, and because it's something I don't really know a lot about,
Yes.
honestly. So
And I absorbed the knowledge on this one because really, from a guy standpoint, I was actually I'm just going to say this, but with the utmost respect to it, like we did a heart card on the air, and you're going to be doing your heart card with your husband coming up back end of this week, the first week of March. I said I would have no problem doing some type of procedure in relation to, because when you're 50, you're supposed to have these types of
That's
things
it.
done.
And I think
I don't mind doing that.
it's so important, and it's a topic a lot of people shy away from.
Agreed.
And which is unfortunate, because what happens then is a lot of people would say, oh, they're in the same boat. I just said something I don't know a lot about. A lot of people would be in the same situation until they have negative issues that end up coming, and then they have no choice but to learn about it. And especially to find out these are things that could have been prevented or treated at a much earlier time to prevent them from becoming so severe. So we do have a few doctors going to be coming in that are amazing doctors later this month, and we're trying to get those dates confirmed.
That
So
someone just chimed in all about this. My husband found out after a procedure there were complications to that particular situation, and it was thanks to taking that and taking that step
yep,
and getting that checked
preventative
out.
care, that those screenings, it's
Very, very important.
absolutely. I mean, like you talked about the skincare, it's those screenings so much of the time. I mean, I realize we all can't. You don't want to live in a world where we're afraid to do anything without having everything checked out. But what peace of mind the heart cart brings, the skin cancer screenings bring. Why not do these things for your health? This is absolutely important. So that's going to be a big focus this March. Trying to focus on digestive health and stuff in general. So I think it's very important. I look forward to being able to release those dates and the names of the doctors, because it's a big deal. So be thinking out there, everybody joining us of questions that you have for when we do have doctors in and stuff. Because Rick and I are certainly not doctors or the experts, but when we have them in, please use them, ask them questions, and you know.
You know what? If you have been, I'm going to throw this out there because we would love to talk to folks. If you've done a procedure, maybe you've had something done. I'll give you a great example. Whether you were, having a procedure done, maybe you were in the military. Is there anything that in your life has affected you? Call us live on Younger Life Live right now, because we're on the radio. We're also in the visual perspective, youngerlife.org/live. So you could actually see this. And when all is said and done, you could scope it out on YouTube. But call us. We would love to hear from you.
And today-
219-861-1632, 219-861-1632. Call us right now. We'd love
Yeah,
to hear
today's
from you.
kind of a treat too, because we love having guests. That's always we love doing that. We love that focus. But today is kind of a treat. It's just us and Ryan here today. So we kind of have the opportunity to talk about whatever you want, which is kind of fun too, and of course, and upcoming things and questions and concerns. So we'd love to hear from anyone out there today. It's nice.
One of the things I want to throw out there, just to kind of recap, yesterday we had some great listeners and viewers, Jackie and Jenny, come in the studio, and they were super troopers.
I know it.
Love these ladies. They got great attitudes, great energy.
They were inspiring in the fact that they're ready to, begin their trek towards healthier living, and I think it inspires me to do the same. So, like I said, I have certainly dropped the ball when it comes to my New Year's resolutions. So,
and can I ask, if you don't mind me asking, since we're talking just openly about this, what were the resolutions?
Well, when we started, actually started the week before New Year's, because
that was a mistake right there.
But no, you know what? I like that only because
honest.
right after Christmas, I thought, you know what? Why in the world wait until January 1st? I'm just gonna start. And I have a couple workout videos, because it is hard to get outside and do some of those things, especially in the snow and stuff. So
hold that thought.
Oh, sure.
Hit your headsets on right now. We have a call right now. Welcome to Younger Life Live. It's Rick and Mary, and who are we speaking to?
It's Bob from Westville.
Bob from
Good morning.
Westville. Welcome to the show. What's on your mind? Talk to us.
Oh, not much. You guys were talking about the Women's Fair or whatever it is.
Yes, sir.
Actually, to let you know, when I was stationed in the military, one of the bases I was on, they found out the drinking water was contaminated, and it has caused a lot of digestive tract problems for a lot of the veterans that were stationed there, including myself.
Oh, that's terrible.
So is that something so you found that out while serving, and God bless you and thank you to our veterans for serving our men and our women and their families. Is that something that you found out then, number one? And number two, is that a situation, Bob from Westville, Indiana, that you still deal with today?
Oh, yeah, I'll be dealing with it for the rest of my life.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
Yeah, it's something they found that the drinking water was contaminated for, they're figuring roughly 20 years.
Oh, wow.
And we didn't even know about it until probably, I was already out of the military 10 years before we even found out.
Wow.
And how does that work in that situation, if we could just be blunt but adult to adult? So are you getting taken care of on this particular situation that's affecting you? You know what I'm saying? So in other words, you found out 10 years after you got out, has the insurance part of what is going on taken care of this for you?
Kind of. We're still in a huge legal negotiation to try to get all that taken care of.
Mm-hmm.
Has it affected you on multiple levels? And I don't mean to pry, but you are probably helping out some veterans that are either in the listening audience area, watching, or both. So finding this out. See, this is what drives me nuts. These men and women are out there. Why wouldn't they know on this base 20 years? Don't you test this stuff? Aren't there signs? Aren't there, is that what you guys, are you guys arguing this point as veterans, or I'm just curious?
Right now we're arguing the point. I can't say too much about it.
Right.
Right now we're arguing the point on just getting the VA to cover the cost of our medical problems that we're having.
Mm-hmm.
Is it a situation, if you don't mind me asking there, Bob, that you have to be medicated? And I'm just going to say that loosely. You know, do you have to take pills? You have to do something to have to
Yes,
change your routine?
There's medications I'm going to have to take the rest of my life for this.
Yeah.
Yeah, it does a lot of affecting. Some days are better than others. There's some days where I can live a pretty much normal life, and then there's other days where I can't really do too much of leaving the house because it bothers because it's acting up so bad.
That's terrible. I'm sorry to hear that. I think you were having problems prior to you clearly didn't find any of these things out during screenings. You were already having issues.
Right. Yeah, I was having issues probably 15 years ago or so. I was diagnosed with it, and about 10 years ago is when we found out what caused it.
Can I ask a question on the other side from an emotional standpoint? So here you are. Do you work right now? Let me ask you that. Do you work?
Yes, I'm working. I'm actually fortunate enough I have a job where even if it does act up on worse days, I'm still able to go to work. But there's days I can't do a whole lot because of you get a lot of intestinal pain, stomach pain, just a lot of different stuff where you can't do a lot of things you want to do.
How does that affect you from a guy perspective? Are you, if you don't mind me asking, are you a family guy? Are you a husband? Are you a father? You know, do you have that all mixed into your life as well?
Yes, I do. I'm married. I have one child at home, and I have 4 others in college.
Holy cow. God
Wow.
bless.
That's a lot of stress.
Wow. There's the stress right there.
Yeah.
And then from an emotional standpoint, when this happens to you, when it triggers, does it trigger something to you or for you or in your psyche that throws you into a unique mode? Because I'm just asking these questions because if we can help out anybody on Younger Life Live, and I so appreciate your blunt and your honesty, you know what I'm saying? Do you get does it affect you in different ways emotionally?
Yeah, it does. There's a lot of times I get angry because there's things, especially with my daughter that's at home, you know, she wanting me to go out and do things. There's a lot of times I can't. And a lot of times I have to try to avoid stress because if I get really stressed, then it really makes it worse.
Wow. Well, listen, I don't know
Good luck.
Yeah, good luck first and foremost, and thank you for tuning in and calling. The other side of it is, have you ever had a heart card done? I mean, are you okay on that side? Because I'll tell you, you should, if you can, between now and the back end of 2016, in LaPorte, Indiana, at IU Health LaPorte Hospital and their other campuses, but specifically here in Indiana, they are offering these free heart cards that are worth $1,200. If you can, maybe you could have that side of life checked out as well. Cholesterol, your heart, because all these things are a definite factor. If you don't mind me asking, how old are you?
I'll be 50.
Rock on, dude. 50 it is. Woo! Well, that's great. First and foremost, thanks for calling and God bless. Do you have anything you want to add to that?
I don't.
Anthony?
I appreciate the call. Absolutely. It's so important. Again, just more proof that the, digestive system is so
finicky,
influenced by,
yes.
right. I mean, by the things that we take into. So it isn't just hereditary. These are things that we all need to face. Even if it hasn't been an issue in your family history, it's still things that you need to take precautions and again, with, specifically kind of focusing on colorectal cancers this month, there's so many things that we can do to prevent. So thank you so much for calling. Good luck with all of your issues. I really hope that you get taken care of.
And just real quick, they're still updating us all the time on different medical problems that they believe this is caused. And one of the new ones that they've just mentioned is now I'm at a high risk for breast cancer.
Really?
Wow.
Yeah. They found it's caused breast cancer in a lot of men that were stationed there.
That is
I did not know that. And that's awesome coming from a man. I mentioned at the top end of this show that I've had a lot of ladies and people in my life pass, and my aunt right now is going through some brutal stuff. And breast cancer does affect men and women. So they're finding out right now that some of the men that you were stationed with, some of the folks that you were stationed with, just in general, stationed, are getting breast cancer as a result of that potentially hypothetical water situation. That's really bad.
scary and
Right.
sad.
When did that come out?
Right.
Recently? Is that a recent thing?
Yeah, we just got the newsletter on it probably 6 months ago.
Keep us updated on these issues, because if we can help out, we do have on our flagship station, AM 1420 WIMS, and on our other station, AM 1060 WHFB, we have Veterans Chronicles, Front Lines of Freedom, and all these different things, all these different issues. But we're there to help our veterans on Younger Life Live as well. So thank you to our vets. Thank you for serving, by the way.
All right, thanks.
Have a good
Awesome.
day.
Thank you. Wow, that was great. 219-861-1632.
sad.
That
It's
It's
sad,
crazy.
and that's really hard, especially when it's something completely out of your control like that. That's not something you would have known any better to prevent. You know what I mean? So that's really hard.
Well, think about that call
Mm-hmm.
here on Younger Life Live. Right there, I probably learned in the last 4 minutes more than I have been thrown out. And I'm really up on our veterans, because
Yeah.
you and I and our groups and Gerard Media LLC and Younger Life Live, we are all about our veterans and helping out.
absolutely.
And we know how important it is to get these screenings and these different, things that may help. But how weird is that these guys and gals are serving and they find out from a newsletter that there's some stuff going on that may not jive? And could you imagine going through all those years of just
Right.
having pains and not knowing,
Yeah, having issues.
having issues, and now knowing all these years later? So it's sad.
Yeah,
It's
and
sad.
hopefully, I'm positive by nature, so I tell myself, hopefully, the powers that be will write it all out. Get everything situated, and of course, things happen unintentionally, but all of these people are affected, and I certainly hope that they get it all figured out and make right by them for everything that they've sacrificed and done too, as far as the veterans go. But that's really scary and sad for them, especially knowing then that they're predisposed to at an increased risk for other cancers. That's really scary.
Now, speaking of, ponying up and or getting ready to rock and roll for an appointment, let's kind of scope out what you and your husband are doing this upcoming Friday.
Friday before the show, I'll be coming straight from my heart cart. So
Now, you're doing it right before the show.
I am. I'm doing. That's when they could get us in first in the morning, and I said, "All right, we're gonna go for it." So that's what
Are
we're
we
doing.
going to be recording this piece?
I don't know. I'm open to that. I haven't heard from the.
I would say
Any-
we need to talk to the production team, and if you're cool with it, you got to talk to your
Mm-hmm.
husband, and as a team, you guys decide.
Yeah.
It's one of those things, and you and I both know. I'm going to be honest with you. I did it.
Yeah.
It was awesome, and they're not doing anything. Like I said, the only thing I was
It's
worried
not-
about was people
right.
seeing my big chest.
Yeah, it's not that invasive.
They don't do
so-
much to you.
Right. That's what I love
they
about
really
it.
don't.
We're talking even the blood. I found out it's just a little finger
little
prick,
pinprick, a little Pink
which still
Floyd.
hurts.
Just
I
a
don't like
little
that either.
pinprick. Oh, come
But
on! It does.
I'm a
not.
baby about needles, but still, that is a lot less invasive than even an arm draw. So I am looking forward to it.
Very, very interesting.
What?
Got another text message right there from another veteran.
Oh.
Who just told us to look at, and if
Mm-hmm.
you wouldn't mind, there's a link for the information. There's two back to back. The name of the camp is
On the-
Camp for the Contamination of Water. If you want to hit Google, you got your Google up?
I'm pulling it up right now.
Okay, so you're listening and watching Younger Life Live. Rick Federici, Mary Anthony, talking about anything and all things health related
Yeah,
today,
that's
and fun
right.
stuff.
Yeah.
And just, if there's something on your mind, if you want to get some
Call
out
us.
there, please, we'd love to hear from you. 219-861-1632. Camp, and it's spelled LEJ. EUNE. I don't know how to say that. Camp, LEJEUNE, water contamination. Okay, and the other person says, here's a link for that caller. I also am a veteran. And I will just say it's been the most interesting decade plus. So, very, very great insight there.
There's a whole bunch of different websites.
Okay,
Let's see.
so that's something that I would love to potentially look at and see what is out there. One of the things, Younger Next Year, a guide to living like 50 until you're 80 and beyond. While you're looking that up, I am going to pop this pony open. And I want to throw this out there because they do have the new science of aging, but also something that affects you that kind of charges you up and maybe that doesn't. And I know you have chatted with me about this, making it your new job, jumpstart that sucker. And these are like, little isms.
Yeah.
Tapping into the passion and the best people hate exercise. Right there in that book.
It's really interesting. And they actually, they do talks all over. They do not do free talks, but they do. And they also have Thinner Next Year, another book. I haven't read that yet. This was the first one I read. They have one that came out for women, Younger Next Year for women. I haven't read that. This was their first one, so that's why I actually got this one first. And then I found out I probably should have read the women's book, but this is still really good.
Wait a minute here. You're a married young lady to a wonderful guy.
Yeah,
it's good to know. So you can kind of,
and it's very interesting. And they've got a funny spin on it too, which I like. For me, that's a much easier read than trying to read a medical journal of sorts. It has a lot of medical information in it, but it's very good, very easy read, and I would definitely recommend it. Go for
smiling.
it. It's good.
That's
I liked it.
That's a big book for a guy.
You know what though? What's awesome about it is how you were just
There's
picking
big
out
words,
parts.
Rick.
But you know how you were kind of
Yes.
picking. You could absolutely do that. Find what is useful in your own life and kind of skim the rest if you don't. If it doesn't feel pertinent. But
Can I throw this out there too as a guy? And I know that a lot of guys will stick up for me on this one. A lot of us men have our significant others in our lives, no matter who they are. Significant others, people that we love and respect and listen to and get nagged on by and all that. And we throw that back to them. That being said, I know if it wasn't for my wife, Normita, and you with Jeremy, I'm sure you have, I'm going to ask you this question. The heart card, did you discuss that with your husband?
oh no, I just called and scheduled
Of course
it.
you did.
But you know what though?
That's what
When
I'm
I
saying.
did and I called him, he
Was-
heard the show the day I did it was the day Ashley Dushek was in here. And, again, 30-year-old woman found out she had a hole in her heart. I mean, an extremely large hole in her heart that had never in her life been detected. And they could not believe that she did not die.
Exactly.
Pregnant with the extra strain on the heart with her 2 children. That was emotional for me and very relatable because I think, oh my goodness, I cannot imagine finding something out that severe now with kids at home, and just it's hard and scary. So that day I called, and so when I called him and said, oh, by the way, I called and scheduled our heart cards, he said good. He heard the show and it was scary. It's very scary and intimidating.
Let's be honest, and especially when you love that guy a lot, your husband.
Absolutely.
You guys have created 5 beautiful children, and you have a family unit going there, and you never think about, even as young as you two are and as young as your children are, you got cool ages there with your children. You don't want to put that burden either. I mean, God forbid, I said to my wife,
terrible.
if something ever happened to her, this is just me as a guy. This is just me as Rick. I've been with her since she's been 15. I was 16. I'm 49, going to be 50. That I found my soulmate. I don't need anybody else.
Right.
And I always say to her, get a prenup if I die, and make sure that you get the stud with the chest.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying because
It is
I don't think
scary.
I'd ever get married again because my daughters are women. I don't know if I'd ever date again. A lot of people are like, oh, you're crazy. No, I'm not. Because I know where I'm at in life
Yeah.
right now and I'm happy.
Right,
I
absolutely.
I like what I do. The same thing I say where I know that because let's be honest here, as I got choked up, I looked at her and I'm like, oh my gosh, she is such a young mom.
Oh yeah.
Like
way
younger.
I couldn't. Right. There was no not getting choked up. It was just very scary. And at the time her youngest was like 1. I mean,
Right.
and to have to go into open heart surgery. So I mean, that was eye opening, I thought, and so important. So, and then what? Like the next day, we had Sue Klebeck who died of cardiac sudden death and
let's
was
be blunt
brought
here.
back.
Died, went through a stoplight.
So truthfully, I could not have been more looking forward to the heart cart. Just peace of mind, strictly peace of mind. This month, however, being colorectal cancer awareness,
Yes.
I did, I'm excited that these doctors are going to be coming in. I'm really looking forward to getting them booked. We can discuss exactly what they do and their take, because they all do a little bit something different. And digestive health, again, is such a large topic because it covers such a vast area in the body.
It sure
You're
does.
talking so symptoms. I mean, everything are just so varying. But I found a cool little thing on livescience.com. They have 11 surprising facts about the digestive system.
Can we play
So
these?
please, yes. I think it's it's struggling right now to pull it back
actually
up.
pull up.
It
Sure.
keeps wanting to, but the again, it's so important because the cancers. Again, it is scary, and we have to have a little bit of statistics. Nobody likes it, but we have to. Oh, it says that each year, 270,000 Americans develop cancer in the gastrointestinal tract somewhere. So, again, vast area we're talking. It is the digestive system in general is cancer prone. So that doesn't mean they all die. It actually says about half can result in death, though. Again, so some of these simple screenings are important, but I do want to. There are some interesting upbeat facts. We don't have to make it all terribly depressing, but the.
Dun,
I know. I mean, I hate to always be the doom and gloom when you're talking statistics.
No, but I think
nobody
I think
likes
people need to
that.
know. We're educating folks as well here on Younger Life Live.
Well, and it is important.
It sure is. We could save a life, or get someone to move a little bit, or to get that something checked.
Right. And exactly. I think it gets people's brains turning, if nothing else. Again, when we do know we have a doctor coming in, start thinking of those questions. You and I, when we know we're having a physician, especially, particularly a doctor, and, we sit and we debate on it, off air, and kind of say, okay, well, these are things that we think that people would want to know for sure. But you know what? Call in, let them know this is your chance. You don't have to make an appointment.
And we don't cost anything.
Here. Yeah, that's
We're
it.
free.
So that's what's nice. So just some interest. These say 11 surprising facts. Okay, this is
You ready to roll?
livescience.com. I am right now.
Okay.
Let's see.
219-861-1632 is the live hotline.
So this says stomach rumbling can happen at any time, not just when you're hungry.
Hold on. Stomach rumbling, that's not good, because that happens to a lot of us. Okay, go ahead.
That doesn't always mean there's something wrong, though. It's due to normal digestion, in your tract. It's pretty normal.
So these
are all just interesting facts. These are not necessarily warning signs. These
And
are
by
just
the way,
funny
we are
things.
not what?
We are not
certainly
not doctors.
We're not doctors.
Absolutely not.
We don't play them either. Although I do play doctor with Norma.
You know what?
Oh, welcome to the show. Diddle-it-did. Want to throw out a few things while you're pulling up those stats and some of that, and when you're ready to rock, you just let me know.
I am. I'm good.
Okay. I want to throw this out there because we've got some great folks coming on a little bit later on, a couple shows from
This
now.
week, yeah.
Stephanie and Debbie are going to be talking about Alzheimer's and dementia,
Right.
how it affects us, and a lot of us are affected.
And assisted living, the social component of assisted
Yes.
living, and why it is so important.
Agree.
They're going to be coming in and discussing too the power of touch. It's a big deal.
Adult daycare is something too that I think a lot of folks are affected by in many, many different lays of the land. So,
They'll
that's
be
something else
coming
I want
in.
to throw out there as
Yep,
well.
and I know we do have the YMCA coming back and discussing the naming of the pool. Dun, dun, dun. That's a big deal and, exciting. So let me get this. I'm just going to state these out for you quick when I get them out.
Okay, cool. While you're doing that, I also want to throw out there, if you're an organization and you kind of want to throw something back to us, Rick, R-I-C, at WIMSradio.com, or you could send it over to news@WIMSradio.com. That is our flagship radio station here for Younger Life Live. We are always in tune with things that are happening in and around the area. Let's go for it.
Okay, so we all know the digestive system, or maybe you don't know, but it has two main functions. Converts food, to nutrients from the food that we eat, and to rid the body of waste. So, oh, good Lord, are you kidding me? This is live, and obviously live. It keeps popping off of this.
Now,
11 surprising facts, which is so interesting if we could ever get them out.
You know what? Let's take a quick time out here on Younger Life Live. We'll be back here in just about a minute. Don't go anywhere. Ryan, if you could throw up that Younger Life Live title slide, we'll be right back here in 2 seconds.
Imagine an experience that's all about you living younger, longer. That helped your friends, loved ones, and neighbors appreciate deeper, more meaningful relationships. That encouraged you to wake up each day refreshed, inspired, and ready to embrace new ideas. Now, discover it. Younger Life Live, weekdays, 9 a.m., only on AM 1420. WIMS, and at YoungerLife.org.
Hi, this is Rick Federici.
And this is Mary Anthony.
And don't forget to join us weekdays here on WIMS for
Younger Life Live.
the one and only Joan Davis joins us live. Robin Coe.
Robin today.
He's in the house. Dr. Jamie, it is so great to have you. We are so honored to have you on.
Jeff Melody with us today. I am so excited.
Younger Life Live with Rick Federici and Mary Anthony, weekdays 9 until 10 on AM 1420 WIMS.
All right, we're back on Younger Life
We're
Live.
back and we've got it up.
Thank you, Ryan Bell.
I know, how funny. So, the 11 surprising facts.
And
of the
let's
digestive
recap
system.
where we're at with Younger Life Live. We've been chatting about a lot of different things,
yeah,
but
today's little, kind of a free for all, which is nice.
it's a
So,
free form kind of Younger Life
We
Live.
like that every
doing
now
that.
and then.
Yeah, I agree.
It's fun. It's nice to be relaxed and kind of be able to jump around. But this is Colorectal Cancer Awareness Month,
Mm-hmm.
the beginning of the month, and we're going to do feature a few different doctors this month and that deal with different areas and of the digestive system and bring awareness to screenings and stuff that should be done. But this was on livescience.com. It was just 11 surprising facts about the digestive system. So it's just kind of interesting. Again, no scary statistics except 270,000 Americans are diagnosed with some sort of digestive cancer every year.
Scary stuff.
It is scary. So the rest of these are a little more upbeat. So stomach rumbling can happen at any time. Now, clearly I'm not going to read the entire article, but this is just that's just due to normal stuff. No problem there. The here it goes again.
Okay, no problem. Here we go here on Younger Life Live. A quick reminder, I want to throw this out there. Indiana University Health, LaPorte, and Stark hospitals are urging you, the public, to follow visiting recommendations within the basic hospitals to help basically prevent the spread of flu. So this is a big story that we have out locally. The hospitals have seen a slight increase in the number of flu cases. So the hospitals have enacted the visitor recommendations to discourage the spread of flu and basically keep the patients and healthcare workers safe. If you'd like some more information, you can hit up our flagship radio station's website, WIMSradio.com, to get some more insight into that. And thanks to our great folks.
I have noticed my own self with at the schools, the increase in the flus, which, it's a little later in the season.
Yes.
But because with the lighter winter, we definitely didn't notice it like we typically do before Christmas and stuff. But at the schools, goodness, the kids have really had a lot of kids out. It's
think
been
about
rough.
the folks also affected that, and because I know personally from my family situation with my three ladies, the allergies and the craziness of the season, and it not killing the stuff.
That's
it's been a light winter.
It's been rough on
and
those
so
with
that
allergies.
has really tweaked a lot of people's
Absolutely.
psyche and being.
Okay,
so.
well, my page is up before it disappears.
Quickly,
I want to say
quick.
food. This is one of the facts I found interesting.
Thank you.
Food does not need gravity to get to your stomach, which is weird. You'd think eating upside down. It's the muscles in the esophagus and through the intestinal tract that work it down to the actual stomach. So they constrict and they squeeze it on down.
Yes.
So you don't need gravity. That's different. This says laundry detergents actually take cues from the digestive system. Now, forgive me, I'm going to mispronounce some of these enzymes, but laundry detergents contain several different classes of enzymes that include, looks like proteases.
Okay.
I apologize. I'm so
No, you're totally
I'm
cool.
going to
But
mispronounce.
you could just say a
these.
number of different things that would affect you. This is interesting. I've never heard of
the
this.
human digestive system contains the same enzymes, which is what I found crazy. I thought, again, you think poison,
Right.
and it certainly is definitely don't ingest it. But a lot of the enzymes in your laundry detergent are in your digestive tract, which is kind of cool. Your stomach does not do most of the digestion, which is...
Wait a minute. I don't think
it
people
is
realize that.
commonly believed that the stomach is the center of digestion.
Mm-hmm.
And although the stomach does play a large role in it, it helps to churn the food, mixes it with the gastric juices, breaks it down. But it's actually involved in very little of the chemical digestion of the food, which is what reduces it to the molecular size and gets into the bloodstream. So I thought that was weird. I was trying to pinpoint if it says which part. The small intestine instead is the one that finishes, uses the chemical, breaks down the food chemically and gets it into the system. So that was interesting. The surface area of the small intestine is huge. So the small intestine is about 22 feet
What?
long, which is insane.
I did not even know
I
that.
remember reading that one time thinking that is absolutely hard to comprehend.
What was that when we were younger, and you a lot younger? But when I was younger, I remember they used to say something about if you take the intestine or something and you spread it out straight, it goes around the world 30 times.
Yeah.
Well,
that was not true. Maybe if you tied them all together from everyone in the school. But yeah, the small intestine is about 22 feet long
Smart
and
gal.
about an inch in diameter. Mm-hmm. So based on these measurements, you'd expect the surface area of the small intestine to be 6 square feet. Mm-hmm. But it's actually 2,700 square feet. Goodness gracious, about the size of a tennis court. See,
Holy cow.
That is,
that to me is like...
I
like,
you're
I look at me
talking
and go,
feet. I know. It's
I look
hard
down
to
at my body and
imagine.
go, okay, is it really that big? I mean, that's crazy to me.
It's because of all the folds and stuff,
Sure.
in there. That's crazy. Stomachs vary in the animal kingdom. We all know that, it's not the same in all animals. Some animals have multiple compartments and they say cows have numerous stomachs. That's not, it's mistakenly referred to, but really they're just actually they're multiple chambers. But actually deer, giraffes, cattle, they all have 4-chambered stomachs. That's how they helps them digest plant-based foods. So that was interesting.
We just got a nice little email from Ken S., who's listening to us saying he's enjoying the show. He's had us on for the last
enjoying a little bit
several weeks.
of craziness today.
Yeah, but
That's
you want to know
nice.
what? It's we're educating folks and we're kind of pulling out different topics.
It's fun.
He just sent me over a nice little release that says, Ricky, I don't know if you and Mary know this. This month, the Indiana Tobacco Quit Line is celebrating a decade of helping thousands of Hoosiers overcome their tobacco addiction and live healthier lives, which is the theme of your great show.
It is. Thanks, Ken. That's perfect. 10 years since that campaign.
Let me throw this out there, and this is what he said. Ricky, since it began in March of 2006, the Quit Line has helped more than 114,000 tobacco users quit tobacco through its free phone counseling and its web-based service. We need you on, Ken.
That's fantastic.
This is a great show because this will
Ken
make you stay healthier.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, my
Without
gosh.
a doubt. I mean,
This is exactly what this show is about.
It is. It certainly is. And the, everybody knows, even if you are a smoker, it's bad for you, and so to find out that they've helped that many people, though, is so encouraging.
Can I throw this out there?
That's fantastic.
Here's what he threw in there. I don't know if you know this. Tell Mary, Indiana's adult smoking rate is 22.9%, down from 25.9% in 11. This Quit Line, 1-800-QUIT-NOW, is working to further reduce the rates through the Quit Now Indiana Preferred Network, which comprises more than 6,700 healthcare providers.
Wow.
6,700, providers, employers, and other organizations across our state, we know is Indiana. Now, obviously, that's where the corporate offices are for YoungerLife Live. We're here, of course, on the county line of Porter and LaPorte County, Indiana, Northwest Indiana on the water, right outside of Chicago, and literally 10 or so miles away from the Michigan-Indiana state line. So I love this.
Wow, I think that's fantastic. That's so encouraging. I love that that's so positive.
This is great.
Really, that's amazing. And, you think if it's dropped that much with the initial campaign and the help that they provide those people, hopefully that'll just, double in the next decade. That's incredible.
I would love to get some folks on for that, and absolutely, we would love to have him on as well here with AM 1420, and of course, Younger Life Live. So that is definitely something that I think that we will put together for you, because I have to be honest with you, here in the Midwest, you and I both know that a lot of the people that are here, I've never seen more smokers in my life.
Really?
And I worked in Chicago for 2+ decades. In Indiana,
Really?
it seems like everybody smokes, at least,
Oh,
in the last X years.
Really?
So that's something I think
That's
we need
sad.
to put our hands all over. Because if you quit, you'll stay.
oh, absolutely.
Alive
Hey,
longer.
younger, longer, man. That's
Yeah,
the
there
way
you
to
go.
do it. Younger, longer. That's what
There
we
you
want.
go.
for
We've only
sure.
got a minute or so left of the show.
Okay.
So I want to throw out some of the stuff that's coming up. We did say that Alzheimer's and dementia will be a
Yep,
part of our
that'll be
group
part of
coming
the
up.
discussion. Mhm.
And some a little bit fun. Are we going to actually let the viewers and the listeners help us in naming this pool, or has it already been named? Do we know that yet?
It has not been named.
It has not been named. Okay,
has
so
not
that is
been
something
named.
very, very cool.
So yeah, absolutely, and that'll be really interesting. And if you do get the chance, check out this book.
Go for
Younger
it.
Next Year: Guide to Living like you're 50 until you're 80 and beyond. Really, it was a good read.
Dwayne T.
Interesting and.
will be joining us too from the guy's perspective. He is going to be joining us, talking a little bit about the challenges he's going to do. We're going to give him a journal. We're going to have him jump aboard the
perfect.
Groovy Train. And by the way, if any of you want any of this stuff, we would be more than happy to set you up with that. As much as you want, you could email Rick, RIC, at WIMSradio.com. Plus, we're going to talk to Trina about her tour around the
The
country.
Live Tour. I definitely am interested in that. I really liked Norma's Bike's a Live Bike, right?
Yes, it is.
Yeah, I really liked it.
And a very affordable one at that.
Which is great. So I definitely like to talk to Trina a little bit more about that and those tag-alongs. And that wasn't part of the Live
and
Tour.
you have to make sure we're going to talk to all the people and all the producers.
So-
I definitely would love to see your hard cart stuff.
Yes,
I think
that would
people
be
would love
great.
to see that. Really, we could throw it on video.
Oh, I'm
we could
fine with that.
pre-produce that segment. That would be awesome.
Yeah, that would be great. That's a
Only
good
if
idea.
you and Jeremy are
we're
cool with that.
fine with that.
Right.
We're fine with it. That would be great.
Well, on behalf of us all at Younger
Well,
Life
thanks.
Live, I'm Rick Federici.
I'm Mary Anthony.
Have a great day. Thanks for joining us again today.
AM 1420, WIMS, Michigan City, a Girard Media Company station.